Hi, welcome back to Checkpoint Running. I'm Dylan. Today we're covering some more of our Thurmont loop that we've been doing. This is part 5 of 10. And this will be another short run, just like our previous section. Today we're going to be running from Wolf Rock, which you see here, all the way to Thurmont Vista, which is a beautiful overlook. So quick, easy run, nice and flat. Not too much going on. So we'll just take in these views of Wolf Rock, and you can see the rock scramble we did to get up there. It's a fun little rock scramble if you ever choose to come out and do this hike. But here's the full loop, all 10 parts. So we did this part here last time, Chimney Rock to Wolf Rock in part 4. Part 5, we're going to do this one, Wolf Rock to Thurmont Vista. And then in our next segment, we're going to go from Thurmont Vista to Hog Rock, which is that section there. So we're going to hit the trail. I've just come down off of Wolf Rock, so just taking my time getting back into the groove of things. And this is part of a long run that I did. You could hike this as well. It would probably take about a day to hike. I ran it in about 4 hours, so it was a good run. And in case you're new to my videos, I like to show these stats in case you're following along on a bike or a treadmill, something like that, in case you want to adjust to kind of the conditions that I was running under. So we can see it's a beautiful, beautiful day when I did this. Just clear blue sky, nice and sunny, early spring in Maryland. And we start off here. We've got the different stats. We've got on the left, on the top, is the track. And you can see about how far along we are in our total run for today, which is about 15 minutes here that we're going to be running. And then below that is the elevation profile. So there's a little bit of a climb, but it's not a lot. And then you can see we just kind of level out and cruise along. And then on the right side, on the top, is the speed. And then below that is the slope. So this trail was really nice. This was the first time I had run this trail, and so you guys are experiencing it just as I did. I didn't know what the trail was going to be like, what the trail conditions were, how many people were going to be out here, things like that. And it was really, really awesome. I enjoyed this loop a lot. I'll probably go back and do it again, maybe midsummer or late summer, because it's just a really nice trail. It's got a bit of technicality to it. You can see the trail here has some roots, some rocks, but it's runnable. There's nothing too extreme here. And it's got so many beautiful overlooks. If you haven't watched the previous sections, I'd encourage you to go back and watch those. We started with a really steep, long climb up to Bob's Hill overlook, and that has 2 overlooks. You can look north and you can look south, and I really like those. I have a preference for the southern overlook. I think it's really nice. You can see a lot further. And then from there we went to Cat Rock. We ran past Cat Rock. It's not a very good overlook, and so we just ran down past that, and then up to Chimney Rock, which had a really nice overview, and then to Wolf Rock, which was at the beginning of this video, which was just kind of a fun rock scramble. Not much of a view so much, but just different, to have that rock scramble. It's not every day that you do a trail run and have a rock scramble, so it broke it up a little bit and gave me a different challenge. Had to get over a little bit of fear of heights or slipping because it's got some deep crevices in that rock, and there's plenty of warnings about them, but one slip and you might be getting hurt. So we're going to climb this hill here, get over it, and then it'll be nice, smooth running from there. See how I use my poles here. I don't always use my poles, but I do like them for these really long outings just to take some strain off of my legs. And so here I'm doing, doing both at the same time, planting them in front of me and then pulling with my arms and back to help me get up this hill, save some energy. And I'm not going very fast, 2 miles per hour, just kind of cruising, taking my time, enjoying the day, enjoying the route. So as we finish climbing up, if you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. If you want to see me run different routes or talk about different things, let me know. I enjoy just going out, seeing new stuff and exploring. It's part of what really entices me to trail running, is that I can see something different almost every single time. Even if I'm running the same trail, it just changes throughout the year. As the plants come in, the animals change. It's just, so you have lots of options with trail running. And so if there's something particular you want to see, let me know. I also could try different camera perspectives. This first person view is easiest for me with my camera harness and stuff. But I might be able to do some third person, or either showing from front or behind as I run sometime, if you guys are interested in seeing that. I'm not a very pretty runner, so I don't know that there's a lot to gain. So here you might be able to see just off in the distance, there's another runner up ahead there. And I kind of liked that she was out and gave me kind of a target to aim for. Kind of did my own little mental race. She had no idea that I was playing a game in my head of let me see if I could try to catch her. But it gave me a little bit extra motivation to put on some speed during this section. I think she was also listening to music or something, so I don't even know if she knew I was behind her until I got close to her, and then I called out and said, just let her know I was there and not to try to scare her or anything. This trail is also really well maintained. You can see they've done some fresh cuts here to clear out the fallen trees or deadfall. It's always nice when there are volunteers or maybe paid park rangers, but they come out and clear it out. Just makes these trails really nice, and I appreciate it. All right, so we've climbed the hill and we've leveled off a bit. Still a bit of a slope, 5%. It's not too bad. It's very runnable, especially at 4 miles per hour. So we can get to stretching our legs back out. Look at how blue that sky is. It's just gorgeous. I don't look up a lot when I run because I don't want to trip on the rocks and fall. So actually rewatching these videos and narrating them, I get to see some of the things that I actually might have missed during the run itself, which is kind of nice. It was hot this day, and I think at this point I was starting to think about how hot it was, especially being up on top of this ridge where it's exposed and just bright, direct sunlight. And there we are. We've topped that little hill, and now we get to run downhill. And it's also not a steep downhill, which is also it's like a bonus because you can run it like you would on a road, and it just is really nice. steep downhills actually can be really challenging in trail running because you don't want to get going too fast. You have to stay in control, and sometimes that can actually take more core and more leg muscle and effort than if you have something like this where it's kind of, you know, less than a 10% slope going down. It's very easy to stay in control and still use a little bit of gravity to keep moving. So here's that runner ahead of us. We've made up a little bit of distance on her. Like I said, I like to play these little games when I run, especially when I'm doing these long multi-hour runs, whether it's somebody walking, running, a distant rock, whatever, you know, just kind of play a little game in my own head of like, can I catch it? Can I get there? How fast can I get there? Just breaks up some of the running and gets me out of my own head a little bit too. It's really easy to start thinking about how much it hurts or the race you have coming up or whatever. So I think here in just a second I kind of call out, let her know I'm here.
Just letting you know I'm here. Okay.
So she acknowledged and moved off to the right a little bit so I could pass.
Enjoy your run.
I like to do that. Even when I do it, I still spook people sometimes. Like, I guess they get in their own little world and they don't hear me at all. You can hear my feet. You can hear my pulse, right? I'm not quiet when I trail run. I'm not like hunting or anything. So I don't need to be quiet. And still, some people just do not hear me coming and they get spooked. And I don't understand. I don't know. I'm like super in tune with my surroundings when I'm doing these runs. Earlier in one of the parts, there was just a little tiny snake that caught my attention. You know, it can be small things, a bird, a squirrel, a deer, doesn't matter, right? And I'll hear it and kind of tune into it. Or bikes that are coming, I can usually hear them coming or see them coming quarter mile or so before they even get to me. So I've never understood how people can just not hear me at all on these trail runs. Like I said, I guess they're just in their own little world. And that's how they like to be. I think she did have headphones in, so that explains some of it. Like if you didn't hear me or something. But when people are just walking, hiking, and talking to each other or something, and they don't hear me at all, it's so bizarre. And I don't like to spook them because I have gotten a couple of reactions before where people like get ready to hit me with their water bottle or something, like I'm going to attack them.
Hello.
And I did accidentally spook a horse one time, and it kind of bucked a little bit, but the rider maintained control, thankfully. I didn't intend to spook the horse, and I was many feet away, where like I wasn't going to get kicked or anything. I think just the horse didn't even know I was there until I had called out and said, you know, hey, I'm going to pass, because they were just walking, and the horse kind of bucked a little bit. Yeah, this section through here I really liked. You're just running on a ridge top of this mountain, so you can see it's down on both the left and the right, and it's just really nice. Like it's a pretty easy trail to run. It's not very technical. It's well maintained. Beautiful day, and we're gonna come up here to Thurmont Vista here pretty soon. here we're catching up to this man, and I think he's with like 3 of his sons. And we kind of leapfrogged a little bit. In the last section, we passed them as well, but I spent time at Wolf Rock, and they just kept going. They didn't stop at Wolf Rock. So we got to pass them one more time.
Coming up behind you again. Thank you. Thanks.
So I think this is looking off kind of to the east, maybe northeast a little bit, at the town of Thurmont, Maryland, thus the Thurmont Vista. It's a nice little spot. I've got a bench there. You could just see for miles. It was a little hazy today, but I think on maybe a cooler, like a winter day where it's not as humid, and you could probably see all the way to Pennsylvania or something. All right, and so just as a reminder, this is our next section. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I hope you'll join me for that one.